Hi, I am going to share with you how to make a PowerPoint presentation or how to at least use it a little bit. This is more of an introduction, a fast track into what we're doing. Um, just so you know, I haven't taken any courses on this. This is just what I figured out between last semester and this semester. So here we go. So we open up PowerPoint and this is what we get to start with. I usually go in and delete this. So click on the edge, delete. Click on an edge and delete. There we go. We're starting from scratch. Next, I go up here in my red strip across the top and click on design. Okay, so to your left, what you're seeing are design layout options. Some of these get really fancy. The only thing that I would say to watch for, if they're too fancy, they're taken away from the information you're putting on there, right? So if we click that one, then it didn't do us anything. There we go. See, that may be too much for what you're doing. It just depends on what you're looking for. Okay, I generally go with plain and then add color in there. Sometimes I personally get distracted by everything else going on. It's your own prerogative. Okay, to the right of those options, if you click the plain one, or even if you click a different design, you can pick colors. So in this, you go to the drop down arrow. Did you see that right here? If you put your mouse over it, it gives you a drop down arrow. Then go to colors. It gives you all kinds of color options, color schemes. So if you click on one of these color schemes, see, it gives you another arrow, and you go to the right, you have all these options. When you click on your background colors, these are the options that's in that scheme that it's going to give you. So if I pick this red violet, then as I go in to pick, I'm going to click Format Background on the side right there. And then it gives me this side column. I'll pick color with the paint can, and the paint cans generally is your fill option. It's going to fill your whole background. So I like this pink, so we're going to go with that. So you want to do bright pink, we'll go with bright pink. So remember the main important thing on every slide, so we're going to go ahead and start this right now, is having your name at the bottom left corner. So we'll go to Insert, then go to Text Box. We'll click on Text Box, and we'll put us a text box down there in the left corner. If you go to Home right now, the top right in your headings, this top column, row, you can change that to whatever font you would like, and 28-point font, and go ahead and stick your name down there. All right, and remember, you catch that middle and you drag it, and it gives you more space. So now we know that our name's on the bottom of our slides. I generally take this first slide, very basic, right? And we know every one of our slides is going to have this option. Oh, I like personally numbering mine, so I'll go ahead and insert, and we're going to add another text box. And in that left corner, I like putting what number it is on the lesson. So that is for the first step. And once again, we went to Home, and we I'll change my font style, American typewriter. So that's that. From there, in your left-hand column, it shows you all your slides you have available. If you right-click on a slide right there, you have the option. You could either add a new slide or duplicate. I just duplicate my slide. And if I know we have 6 problems, usually I duplicate it that many times. Because right now I know all I have to do is go in. See, I can pick, and you also see they're in order. So I can go in on slide 2 and change my numbering however I see fit, right? Okay, so from there, now we have our slides. So we're going back. If you want to add a heading or a title in there, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start with this slide. And we're going to start with number 1 on drawing your parallel lines. I started with the parallel lines. They had 2 parallel lines, and then they had some different set of lines. So what I did there was I went insert shapes, because even though it's a line, it is a shape. Click on the one with 2 arrows, draw a line. So our line's there. Apparently our line is the same color as our background, and we're going to change that. Okay, so when you insert that line, right here you see short shape format. Anytime you want to change anything about a certain shape, whether it's that line or it's a big picture, you can change that right there. We're going to change this to black, and we're going to weight it heavier. We're going to make it 2 1/4. There we go. And then in order to get a parallel line, all you have to do is copy it and paste it again. And then you can drag your parallel line wherever you want it to be. And let's pause this video. Okay, so we have our parallel lines, and what we're wanting to do is we have all those crisscrossy things. So we inserted our parallel lines. Remember, copy and paste. Now we're going to insert a line pretty diagonal. And we're just going to go this way. There. And remember, you're going to be given this shape format here. You can use this box at the top and scroll through and see what you like. Or you can go right here to the little pencil. You may have a drop down that says shape outline. I have a Mac, so this is what I'm working with. 2 1/4, and I want that to be black. Then we're going to have another line going the other way. And that one goes through there. And once again, it's going to be black, and we're going to weight it. Okay, another thing I wanted to say, and I forgot to bring it up. If you go to view, and this is how I like to do these type of graphics, go to view after you get it started, like after you get the first 2 parallel lines, go to zoom, increase it to 200%. That way, if you're trying to get a little more precise with where your angles are and moving it around, you have better options that way. So this is the basics, right? This is what we're given on number 1 on that lesson. Then we want to insert our angles, right? And those are arcs. So here we go to insert, shape, and okay, this arc that you're seeing me touch is a block arc. That one is really thick. If you come over here to the right, there is a thinner arc. Just do it on the side a little bit. Then move it. Okay, so now we're going to take, and let's make that black so we can see what's going on. This is the thing. You can swirl this all around once we have it out. So we take this, and in our question, we're wanting it down here. So if you move this around, you can make it smaller, wider, however you see fit. and this swings it, right? The little, I guess it's like a little tail with a curve on it. That moves it. You can also take these yellow boxes and drag it to make your arc meet from line to line. So there we go. That's a possibility. And we'll go ahead and make that another color. And we'll make it darker, weighted, heavier. How about that? So we know what that is. Okay, so that's how you do that. To put a degree sign in, because you have 63 degrees, we're going to insert. You can go to your text box and you type in your number. From there, you have, on mine, I have the superscript. Remember, subscript's at the bottom, superscript is at the top. So math, you use superscript because of squared, cubed. A lot of times in chemistry, you'll use the subscript. So we are going to subscript. Then we're also going to insert and go over here to symbols. And in your symbol, you have, of course, this time it's not giving me that. Oh, goodness. Here we go. And there's the degree symbol. And let's wait for it to happen. Okay, so we have the degree symbol. Now, the easiest thing to remember, so we know on this problem, we have 2 different times that it needs that degree symbol. Instead of keep finding it, copy and paste. So we're going to move this to here. You'll probably want to change the font. That's fine. That's great. Go for it. And then you will, like I said, copy, paste wherever else you're going to put it. That also goes for that Clark. That's the easiest way to do it. Make your life easy. Don't reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you need to move things in order to get to it. Copy, paste, and that is perfectly fine. Move it where you need it. And we're going to spin this around. Okay, remove that one there. Now just remember to change what you need when you copy and paste, or it's going to be wrong. Okay, and then from there, you would just insert your 1, 2, 3, 4. You got that. Subscript, it's pretty much like we did the superscript. Remember, so you're going to insert text box. What did I do with that? There we go, text box. Because we have line 1 and line 2. So we have line, and then we move on to home. And that's superscript, remember, like our square, that's how we got our degree. Here is subscript. Click on that one, and we put 1, and that lets us know that that is line 1. And once again, I just copy and paste. So right click, and you can copy. Or remember, you can use, what is it? Alt-C, Alt-V. I have Mac, so it's a little bit different. For those of you that have a Mac, it's a command button. Okay, and there we go. We have lines 1 and 2, and that is the basics of that. What I do want to show you, this makes life really easy. Okay, so I'm unzooming this. We're going back to 100%. Remember, you can click out of that. Okay, we have this set up. And if you're like me, you're going to be doing all these animations and you're accidentally going to grab this line and move it and you're going to go, ah, after you have all your stuff in there and freak out. So right now we know we can go use this undo button, right? You follow my arrow, undo. Okay, so I have all my stuff in there. We're going to pretend that I have, it labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can do this. Highlight all of this. Got it? Highlight. So it just made all this craziness happen. Do not panic. If we go to shape format on that top section in red, our main bar up there, go to this symbol right here. And a lot of times I forgot what this is labeled on a lot of computers. But you'll see this like a yellow sheet with 2 white sheets behind it, and it gives you a drop down a lot of times. Click on that. You're going to go to this, what looks like 2 white sheets of paper, that sideways view. What is it? Landscape. Click on that. It's called group. Click on group. Now, notice it took things away. This is what happened. It made all of that one picture. So now, if you click on there, you're not moving any one thing. Did it not do it? We're moving the whole picture. Got it? So say we moved our picture, we want it on a different side of the screen, we can move it. If we decide we want it in the bottom right corner, we can move it. Life's wonderful. Okay. Also, if you have your picture together and you decide you want to make it larger, you want it to take up more of your screen, you can enlarge it by dragging it, or you can minimize it, right? Make it smaller. Now, that does mess up some of your fonts if you do that. Real simple. Okay, we're going to make it larger so you can see that sometimes it throws it. Okay, so you see where it threw that 63 degrees off. That's what it says. It says arrange. So we come back to arrange right here, click on our drop down, and we can ungroup. When you ungroup, it makes everything its own individual item again. And that's where you can edit each individual little piece. Anyway, I just, this set of slides figured out, oh, that would be great, Crystal. Smart thinking. Group it together. Okay. Okay, from there, I want to go back to the introduction slide, and I want to just show you something. So I clicked and used these different colors. What I'm trying to show you here is sometimes remember that not all color combinations work, and if it's too busy. So that's what I was trying to show you on there. These are actually cute, but just remember to look at that when you're looking through your stuff. I want to show you the cube real quick. The cube is actually really easy to make. We'll go to Insert, Shapes. Then if you look under Basic Shapes, there's a cube over here. Click on that one. And I tend to start off making them pretty big. And then from there, we are going to, and I like to make sure that they're proportionate. And we'll go back there. Okay, so we have our cube in there. I go to View, and I zoom in to that 200% so I can see what I'm doing better. Okay, then if you go to Insert, what we're doing is we're going to insert our lines. So now we'll start seeing all the dimensions of our box. So I come to this bottom corner, and I click in there, and I drag about as far as I think I need it. Will I need to go that far? Probably not. But we can edit that. And once again, we're going to make that line black so we can see, and we're going to weight it. And and I'm going to make it dashed. Okay, here, if you notice, on our right, you're going to have height and width. If you click the up arrow, that changes the height of our line, right? It's moving up and down. So 0 lets us know that line is perfectly straight, and that's how we want it for the back of our box, the back of our cube. Then you're going to insert another line, and the back line of, my mind went blank to know the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, the straight line. That one's the easiest to start off with. Then I like doing the starting at that back corner of our box and dropping down to meet it, because those two are perfectly straight. They're not angled, so that'll work. So if you look in this right hand side, once again, this time instead of it being 0 for height, we want 0 for width. And we brought that down to 0. We're going to make it black. We're going to change the weight, make it dash. I don't want it that dark. Let's go back to 1 maybe. Dashes. Okay, so what we can see is my line doesn't meet with the edge of my box, the corner. And then once again, I want to change that. Oh, that's why I changed the wrong end. Okay. Well, there we go. And that will also mean I need to bring that bottom line down. Use your crosshairs on your mouse when you're doing that. Insert. We're going to do another segment. And we're going to come from the bottom corner and go up to that green dot where the other two meet. We're going to change that to black. Change our weight. And I wish it was that easy to change my weight. And a dash line. Let's change that one. Okay, so that's that. Fairly easy. Real quick, I will show you how to animate some of this in case you have no clue how to animate. We'll go ahead and use this one. And once again, you're going to add your A, B, C, D, all your points. After you do that, go ahead and group it again, right? So to group, you highlight it, go to Arrange, and drop down to Group. And that makes it one object. Everything you've added is now one picture. It's not going to undo unless you go back to Arrange and click Ungroup. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it so you can see how we're going to do animations. So we're going to go to View, go back to regular size, 100%, OK. So on this one, we don't want to start off with anything on our page other than our basic. We have cube in the corner and our name at the bottom. That's all we want to start on our page. Okay, so we click on our big cube that comes in without added lines, and we're going to go to the top where it says Animations. Click on there. Then we're going to pick one of these options. You can do the drop down and it gives you lots of options. I usually just have it appear, surprise, or you can have it fly in. Here, we'll make it fly. If you notice, it came up from the bottom. On your right hand side of the screen, you have your animations panel. You can change the effects. If you wanted to fly in from the left side or the right side, from the top left corner, from the top right corner, there, we'll click on top right. Do we want it to dim? Do you want it to hide after you have it done? Lots of options. Have at it. Then we have timing. Do you want it to come in when you click, or do you want all your animations to keep going? That will make you talk really fast. It's easier if you just use it where you click. If not, it'll time you, right? That might be what I need to do to keep my stuff moving fast. Duration, you can change that right here in this panel. And if you want to delay. In general, I usually just have it on a click and that 5 seconds, and life is wonderful. And then there's extra stuff that I've never used. You're welcome to try it out. Okay, so that is just giving us our big square. Well, then we have these 3 lines. Okay, so let's click on a line. We want to animate that line. So now it's animations. We clicked on our line. We want it to fly in, or do we want it, what do we want it to do? Okay, so once again, we come to this drop down and we want it to, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let it fly. We're gonna let it fly, but this time we want it to come from the right. So we're gonna go to effects, and instead of from the bottom, we're gonna go from the right. And then here, we're gonna click on this line and we want it to come in from the bottom left. So it's gonna fly in. We're gonna go to effects. Instead of from bottom, we're gonna do from bottom left. Then we click on our next line and we can click fly in. That one came from the bottom. I decide I want that one from the top. You get it, effect options, property, and we're gonna do it from the top. Now, let's view that. We're gonna look at our slideshow and go play from current slide. And I do this 50 times during my practice sessions. Okay, I just introduced my new lesson, and I'm saying we're gonna work on a cube. And to make a cube, we're gonna draw in our flat horizontal line in the back. Then we're gonna add our next line from the corner, and finally we're gonna drop down to our 3rd line. So you get it. There we go. And that is how you animate. Okay, stay with this cube. I don't want the number 4 animation to really be the number 4. I want it to be the number 2 animation. I want the pink cube to come in, then I want to do that line coming from the top. All you have to do is go to the right, go to number 4, move it to where you want it to go, and you'll see a blue line shows up where you're going to put it, and you put it right there, and it'll make it the number 2 slide instead of the number 4 slide. So that's that. If you want, say I just want all 3 of those things to happen at the same time. I want my pink cube to come in, but the dash lines, I want those all to happen at the same time. All you have to do is come over here to your timing, and where it says on click, change that to with previous. So let's see, that's number 2. We don't want it coming in with the cube. We want animation 3 to come in with the cube with the animation 2. So we're going to click with previous. We want the other line to do the same thing. So we go to animation 3, go to start with previous. So now when you play current slide, click, we have our cube, click, all 3 lines came in. So it is that easy. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Blackboard, or you can email me. Okay, so I can be reached at clambert1@mp.edu. Yes, I do check my webmail through the college. I also wanted to show you, if on this left-hand column you decide that, oh, I have my slides out of order, just click and drag it where you want it, and there's a line that'll show up. I also noticed, I'm not sure if people are unaware, when you do your lesson presentation, when you share your screen, if you go to slideshow, click on, let's see, you're going to play from start, and that allows the full screen to show up on for whoever is watching your slide presentation, and they actually have a full view of what's going on other than your video, of your face. And there's our amazing animation. Also, guys, we are all in this to learn from each other. I learned this last semester. We learn a whole lot from each other. Do not be afraid to share what you know with people. That's how we learn. So if you have a better way of doing this that I don't know, I would be very, very excited to learn that way and, help everybody out. All right. Good luck.